Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jem, and here on this channel we do mostly sewing content, and in this video we're going to be going over the items that I made in the month of November. So this month I ended up making 8 things. I made almost everything on my list, but I did end up adding a couple of extra items in there. So I'm just gonna get right into it. The first one we have here is Simplicity 9644, which I thought would just be a simple little knit dress to make. I had this awesome pink fabric in my stash, and I thought I would just make this up fairly quickly and have a nice pink dress. But there is this detail on the back that is an open back. It has the little mock turtleneck here, and so the construction of adding all this together was fairly difficult for me, and the zipper did not come together very nicely either with the knit fabric. I stabilized it, I did everything I could to try and make it so it didn't get all wonky like it did, but unfortunately it did, so not my favorite thing this month. The next make is this backpack. So I'm not sure how to pronounce the brand, so I'm just going to put it on the screen for you, but it is a backpack that I wanted to make to hold all my baby's stuff when we go out and about. And right now it is packed with all my baby stuff, and I have been using it for the last couple of weeks when we go out. But this was not my favorite thing to put together. I did put it together fairly quickly. The instructions are a little hard to understand. I wish there was a video to go with it, but unfortunately there isn't. I made the mistake of using nylon webbing because I wanted everything to be pink and matching, and this was really too thick for the pattern. The pattern seam allowances, it's all 1 centimeter seam allowances, which I think is not enough considering like all of the seams are also bound, so it's very difficult to have a zipper and the fabric and these bound seams all together. That was kind of very hard to put together for me. I wasn't the biggest fan of how the webbing goes together on the back either. It's kind of awkward to put on, but it does do the job. I would recommend, if you're making one of these, to make sure you use a more sturdier fabric than just regular canvas. I would use like duck canvas because I feel like this is not sturdy enough for what it is. But I'm gonna use it until it breaks, and then I find another pattern and I'll try again. The next pattern was one of 2 black skirts that I wanted to make this month. I wanted to make one woven and one knit. So I started on the woven version first, which right here just looks like a piece of black square, like a pillowcase or something. It looks like nothing. And I even went out and bought some sateen fabric for the outside of it, and it was just way too thin, so I ended up interlining it with another black fabric in my stash. And this pattern, I used my measurements and it came out way too big, as you'll see in me wearing it. So that's a bummer, because I still need a black skirt in my wardrobe, so we will have to try that again. So the next one I don't have here to show you because it's already hanging up in my baby's room. So I made a canopy from, I believe it's called Le Petit Papillon. It's obviously a French company, and I saw their pattern online and thought it was really cute. I bought the fabric from Etsy as well, and I had a hard time finding the ring that's supposed to go in it, but ended up scoring that from Michael's, thankfully. And it came together very quickly. The fabric that I used was like a linen-like fabric, and it frayed a lot, so that was kind of annoying. I don't have a serger currently, so I definitely had to make sure all of those seams were kept under wraps. I did make the mistake of trimming one of the seams that you weren't supposed to trim at all. I still managed to get everything constructed and together, and my little dude, he really liked it, and he actually slept on the beanbag that's underneath it the first day that we had it in together, so I would say it's a successful project. So the next project was not on my list. I wanted to do a remake of this dress that I had for a couple of years that I wore for Thanksgiving, and I ended up ripping it on one of the Thanksgivings, and so instead of fixing it, I have no idea what happened to it, but I thought I would try and recreate it. I tried to buy some fabric for it. That did not work out, but I did have this fabric in my stash, so I decided I would try it with this. So this just happens to be the Maria dress. So that black skirt that you saw earlier, this is the top part of that. It's just a princess seam top blouse, and then the skirt, the same skirt is added on. And I used a smaller size skirt at different measurements for the bottom, and it definitely fit a lot better than the black skirt fit, but then I had the issue where the top part up here was too big. So I'm not sure if it's a issue with the pattern, because some other people said that they were having similar issues where it was just the pattern was just running too big. But it did come together very quickly, and the zipper turned out beautifully in this one. So I was very pleased about that. The dress itself looks really nice, I think, but the fitting always is just the issue. This is Butterick 6870, and this was just supposed to be a test for what I was thinking I'm going to use this holiday fabric that I had picked up for. So I bought this pattern on a whim and just decided to make it up one day. When I was making it, I accidentally got the size range that only goes to 14, and technically based off of my measurements I should be using the larger size range, so I just figured I would just make it anyways and have something made, you know, just like a buffer or whatever. This definitely has some different type of construction for the skirt that I don't like. They used pleats right here, just 2 pleats in the front. That's just part of the style, but I didn't like how that came together, and I don't like how it looks, especially when it's on. I didn't try this on at all because I just assumed it wouldn't work, and then I tested it the other day and it fit me fairly well, and this is what I'm talking about. This is why I was so confused about some of these measurements, because it's throwing me off in terms of the finished measurements versus all sorts of things. Anyways, I think this is like my first side zipper that I've ever done. Also, this zipper came out really well. I'm very impressed with myself. The buttons were really nice on this one. These are also from my stash. I did pick up this white fabric from the Creative Reuse store near me, but I really don't like this pleated skirt thing, so it's not my vibe. So the last one I have to show you is the Blair skirt by True Bias. So this one was part of the Sew Society group that I'm a part of, and I just decided to make it. I didn't want to do any of the frills, didn't want to do the long, didn't want to do the belt, didn't want to do the patch pockets. I just wanted to do straight up skirt, and I thought that this would go well with the jacket that I made last month. This came together very quickly. A lot of people were complaining about how this facing button piece goes together. For me, it was fine. It was a little different than what I'm used to, but it worked okay for me. I thought the instructions were really good, very easy. They also have a sew along now for this pattern. It fits very well in the waist and the hips for me, but they do have an alteration for like a full tummy, which I have from up having a baby, and it's an alteration that I've never done before, but I think that this skirt is just so simple. I might try to do that alteration for this just so I can get a better fit on another one, obviously not this one, but otherwise it came together very quickly and I am happy with the outcome. So the last pattern, I don't actually have it here because it was a birthday present for my friend. It is the wardrobe Pike vest. I found this online. I gave my friend a couple of options for clothing patterns for them to choose from, and they chose the vest. I've never used this brand or pattern or anything like that. I don't think I've ever sewn a vest like that. Have you seen the other vests I've sewn? But this one was fully lined. It was the finishes on this were just so beautiful. As I was making it through the week, I would come in here and look at my sewing desk and look at it, and I was like, this looks so professional. I was just so thoroughly impressed with myself as I was making it. It just made me very proud. So I used this with their measurements. I did measure them, and it doesn't fit them all the way in terms of they can't button it up, but they said that they were fine with that, and it would be encouragement for them to lose a little bit of weight, but that's not my intent. So I wish it would have fit them enough to button up all the way, but it does fit them in the arms, so that's nice. The fabric that I ended up using was from my stash. It's a vintage fabric that I got at the Alameda Vintage Fair, and then the lining is from my most recent haul that you guys just saw. So the buttons were from my stash, and I did use a little magic mushroom button on the top for them because they're into mushrooms. So that is everything that I made in the month of November. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know which piece you liked the best below. I know I haven't been giving the best reviews for some of my clothing that I've been making lately, but fit is hard. That is definitely the hardest part of sewing, and it's why I don't do sewing for other people 9 times out of 10. I am looking forward to the things I'm planning on making in December, and you'll see one of them is behind me already. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. That's the wrong term. I don't want to use that term. Let me try again. The thing that I'm working on behind me is specifically for December, so I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I hope that you guys had a good holiday and you've got some festivities coming up. I have a holiday party that I'm planning on going to, and I'm feverishly trying to make a dress before then, so hopefully I will get that finished. Fingers crossed. If not, who cares? I'll just wear something else that's fabulous. Well, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.